So this episode of K shows the blue group. It's a flashback of the time they captured the red guy, and the dude goes down to the prison cell and tries to get some information out of the red leader, and he doesn't. Then taunts him a little bit and slams his head on the wall. And then shortly afterwards, we go back to the dinner table with Yoshiro, I do believe his name is, and the sword guy and the strange cat lady. Now, Yoshiro is trying to drag this dinner thing out as long as he can, and the sword guy is like, he has this like little recording thing that plays his like old master stuff, and he kind of uses that for some sort of like Bruce Lee intelligence thing, like philosophy thing to keep reminding him of who he is and what to do and how to act. And he eventually says, well, after we're done eating, you're gonna die, because there's nobody else on that tape that looks exactly like you. And Yoshiro's like, well, don't you think that maybe, just maybe, someone could have like framed me in some way? I mean, how do you know that I'm exactly the one? I act completely different than what I do on that video. He's like, yeah, well, evil people like you can do some weird shit. So they come to this understanding, and dude's like, okay, I'll look more into it. But if you're the guy, you're gonna get top dollared. All right. So you got the bar guy, and you got the little girl trying to find the location for Yoshiro, and the balls aren't, they would put it on this like glass map or something, and the three red balls would circle around, and they would kind of coalesce into one mass to find out where they need to go. They have yet to do that, and then all of a sudden, Mr. Tony Hawk Underground comes in, and they're arguing about someone leaving the group and basically mutiny. And they wreck up this guy's bar, and this guy was not having it. At first, it was funny, like him dropping the glass and seeing him make that face in reflection of the wine glass. And then he decides, to grab both her heads and do this, Twin Peaks, got a light guy kind of squeezing of the head. And he's like, what the fuck? And they're like, well, we're arguing about the mutiny. And he's like, well, let me tell you what actually happened. So, first, say you're sorry to the bar, and they do. It was a funny moment. You wouldn't get it unless you saw it yourself. But yeah, he kind of gives them this semi white bullshit story. Well, if there's a white lie, I guess it could be a white bullshit, half the truth. So, and they just kind of accept it. They apologize to the bar. And, they go away, and the dude's happy again. He's happy in his little London-owned pub. But, basically, and then there's a thing going on where a bunch of people are finding guns in crates. And they're like, hey, we found some shady stuff in these crates. Could be worth it, could be not. And someone comes in and messes their day up. I'm not going to spoil the whole episode for you, but that's essentially everything in a can. So Yoshiro he has been saved for now. Until we find out completely what or who he is, then we're just going to have to see.